So the last two things we're going to talk about are white balance and sharpening your photograph. So if we take a look at this particular image, notice that this young man happens to look a little bit yellow, or actually quite a bit yellow. The overall whole photograph has a yellow tone to it, which again comes from the lights from above. They all give off some kind of color. So we're going to fix this by using an option called color balance. So we're going to use a color balance adjustment layer. Notice you get three different sliders. The way to get rid of a color balance is to add the opposite color. So right now we have some yellow, and we're going to add some blue to combat that. You're just going to drag it until it starts to go away. Notice that you're going to start to see kind of a reddish tone as well. So now we're going to go and add a little bit of cyan to get rid of that red. Sometimes you have to mix and match a little bit. So now you notice that the hair becomes brown again, skin tone becomes normal, the chair in the back becomes blue. And you see how much of a difference it makes from before and after. So the last thing that we're going to take a look at is sharpening your photograph. So to sharpen your photograph, recommended is to press Command J to duplicate your layer. So that you always have the original in case you happen to mess up and want to go back to it. And all we're going to do is go to Filter, go down to Sharpen, and go down to Unsharp Mask. Now the way that the Unsharp Mask works is it finds the edges of your photograph and then it adds contrast. So to each edge it adds some highlights and it adds some shadows. So your amount has to do with how much contrast is going to be in your photograph. Now you also have to tell Photoshop how much beyond each edge do you want the contrast to be. So how many pixels beyond each edge do you want there to be the contrast? So that's what radius is about. You do want to keep your radius about anywhere between 1 and 2, depending on how large your photograph is, but anywhere between 1 and 2 is going to give you a pretty good result. Your threshold has to do with keeping areas that do not need to be sharpened, like flat areas of color or skies, keeping them from being sharpened because we only want the detail sharpened. So what you're going to do, I usually start out with 1 and move up a little bit at a time. And slowly but surely you're going to start to see your photograph sharpen up. Now you don't want to go too far because otherwise it begins to look fake. And as I press my preview button, you can see it clear itself up. Just a little bit is enough. If you go too far, it starts to get a little bit too fake looking and a little bit too cartoony, which is not what you're looking for. You're looking for realism. If you adjust your radius too far, notice you really get a cartoony effect, which is also not something that you're going to want either. You want it to look nice and natural. And once you're happy, you click OK, and you have a nicely sharpened photograph. Brings out the details. Overall makes for a better image.